What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed to Vancouver, Washington. We are headed to Vancouver, Washington, ladies and gentlemen. And all I have to say is here we go. Here we go with the foolishness. And yes, this is significant. Hundreds of ballots possibly burned after Vancouver ballot box arson. FBI investigates. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let me play the quick video clip of the firefighters attempting to put this fire out and pulling the ballots out of the ballot box. All of them up in flames. Up in flames. Here we go with the foolishness. Just nothing but ashes. Nothing but ashes. As you can see, it's official ballot drop box. Nothing but ashes. All those hundreds of ballots up in flames. They're trying to salvage whatever they can right there. You can see they're picking those up, I guess, that weren't burnt up, throwing them inside the bag. Hopefully they can still count those. We'll see how that works out. But once again, let the foolishness begin. Let the foolishness begin. 10 to 15 more illegal immigrants coming across the border. Here we come. Here we come. Another $1 billion in the hole spending on illegal immigrants in Chicago and places like New York as well. Here we go. Let's get it going. Let's jump into this article right here for a little bit more details. I'll leave the link to this article in the description box below as well, so you can read it for yourself. Hundreds of ballot boxes possibly burned. Hundreds of ballots, I should say, possibly burned after Vancouver ballot box arson. FBI investigates. So the article reads, Vancouver, Washington. A Vancouver ballot box was burned in an arson Monday morning, authorities report, with hundreds of ballots possibly damaged in the fire. KATU was on the scene at Fisher's Landing Transit Center in Vancouver shortly after 4 a.m., where heavy smoke was seen coming from inside a drop-off ballot box. Our photographer, Evan Bell, captured gray smoke steadily billowing out of the park and ride ballot box at Fisher's Landing Transit Center near Southeast 162nd Avenue. Multiple police units were in the area, and the ballot box was cordoned off by police tape as it continued to smoke. Around 6 a.m., KATU captured footage of first responders releasing a pile of actively burning ballots onto the ground, which continued to smolder and smoke heavily after the flames were put out. Now, why is this significant? This isn't just any old place where this occurred to. This city, Vancouver in Washington, is in a county called Clark County, Washington. Now, let's get a little bit more information on Clark County, Washington. Clark County is a swing county in U.S. presidential elections that recently voted slightly more Republican than the state and nation as a whole. Clark County usually votes for the winning presidential candidate. It voted for Ronald Reagan twice and Bill Clinton twice. The last three presidential elections where Clark County did not vote for the national winner were 1968, when it voted for Humphrey over Nixon, and 1988, when it voted for Dukakis over Bush. as well as in 2016, when the county narrowly, I repeat, as well as in 2016, when the county narrowly voted for Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton over Republican nominee and winner of the election, Donald Trump. Now, why is that significant, right? That is also extremely significant. Obviously, all of this is. But when you take into account Hillary Clinton and how unpopular she was, you can see here that she narrowly just beat Donald Trump in 2016 while being very unpopular. Kamala Harris is in that same boat. Kamala Harris is more unpopular than Hillary Clinton was if we're going by the polling, right? She's way more unpopular than Hillary Clinton was. So if Hillary Clinton was barely able to squeak by and squeeze by Donald Trump in 2016, if we're basing everything off the current polling as it currently stands, where nationally Kamala Harris only holds a 1-point advantage over Trump, and that's even if that still holds true. I think a lot of other news outlets now are even reporting that Trump is up by about two points now on national polling, if not tied. So I don't even think she has a 1-point lead anymore for the most part. I don't even think Kamala Harris has a 1-point lead anymore. But even if she did, right? If we take into account the fact, as we always state on here, the fact that Donald Trump always outperforms the polls, it pretty much states that for the most part, Trump should win rather easily for the most part. We don't want to count our eggs before they hatch, but seemingly he should win rather easily if things play out historically as they typically do, with Trump significantly out voting the polls. So then it would also make sense as to why, once again, you bring it back to this county where Hillary Clinton barely won as an extremely unpopular candidate, when you have Kamala Harris, who's way more unpopular, 10 times more unpopular. If you're going to do something nefarious in a swing state or in a swing county, a place like Clark County would be the place to do it. They would be the place to do it. I mean, it makes sense. It's wrong. It's horrible. Shouldn't have happened, and it shouldn't be happening. But it makes sense that if folks were going to play games, I guess one of the counties where you would start would be here. And that really does it. There's not much more to say, but let the foolishness begin. Let the 2024 election foolishness begin. And with all that being said, that does it for today's news. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble at TD Media Group. Both my Telegram and Rumble links are in the description box below. It is extremely important that you follow me on Telegram and Rumble. Thank you all for your time. And until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.